Hello? Are you in? I see the tail wagging. Oh, belly rubs. Is that what we want this morning? Inside leg rub. Oh dear, need an inside leg rub. You mean I get the biscuit out for nothing? What's the matter? Is it too small? It is. Not a bigger one. Is that better? Oh, I thought so. No, it isn't.
What's wrong with that, Key?
You don't want a biscuit? Or do you want it now? You want it. You are so cantankerous. Oh, there's a pussycat. So he doesn't run out in front of me. Oh, that's alright. Stay there, cat. Don't you move.
You gonna say hello to it, Key?
There we are, nearly there.
Okay. About a week or more of no rain. This is what it's become. I don't know if you can see me. I look like a silhouette in the LCD. There we go. That's a little bit of me. Good morning. Welcome back. It is 8 o'clock in the morning. We've been getting up 7:30 for the past 3 mornings. It's a bit earlier than I usually get up. Thankfully, all the grass pulling has stopped and he's no longer coughing. Come on in. I wanted another play suit because that's what I've been wearing constantly for the past few days. And I was specifically looking for one that was black, floral, v-neck and had pockets. And I found one. Exactly what I was looking for. Don't know how I can see. Exactly what I was looking for. It's the only one. And it was the only size that was left was my size. We are not summer people, me and Key. We like autumn and winter and snow and cold and rain. Not this. Not this. Where's the clouds? Any clouds up there? No, there's a plane. No clouds. Yuck. Well, that was both gross and sad. There was a dead pigeon in the field just down the bottom, and it didn't smell great. So I put a poo bag on like a glove and put it over the fence. Planted in a tree at like this height. So I was trying to get it loose so that it would fall down. So difficult to get it to fall down so that it's not like so people can see it. Managed to drop it down to about this height. It's a bit sad. It's clearly been somebody's dinner. Foxes, badgers maybe. Key, come. Alright, Speedy, brakes. Brakes! Come on. Come on. I need to Was that it? We ran out of steam. I need to get you. No. Oh dear. Oh dear. That's a bit of a grunt, wasn't it? Oh, you got grass blobs on you. Got grass blobs, Key. You got a smelly foot? Did you wee on it? Oh look, there's lots of them. Is that fun, was it? Okay. I'll make it do it. Not very well. No, you don't care? Okay. What's this? What's this? Oh, it didn't work. No, it's not working. Oh, that one's a dud. This one's going to do it. It worked. I didn't care. you're tired. Hey. You want to get some water? Do you want to get the water? Just pant like a steam engine, Kay. You're partly in the sun. Hello, we're back here, exactly the same as the last day vlog. And again, I don't know if what I filmed this morning is going to make it into the video because I can't see the screen up there. It's so bright. We're up in the field for Key's morning run at 8 o'clock, and yeah, I said good morning then, but I could look a complete mess, so I don't know if I'm going to include it. So good morning, and it's now 9:30, and I've got the video for today uploaded, ready to go. I upload to YouTube the night before, and then I upload to Facebook the morning of. I don't know why I do it that way. I think because I've had Facebook videos go on early when they shouldn't, and I've not trusted doing it the night before in case that happens. I'm working on pots again, plant pots, because I've got so many plants and not enough pots. So that's what I'm doing today. I've got 9 already done, and there's also a 10th one that Paige made for her plants, and she's coming back at the weekend hopefully to make some more. So in case the video that I filmed this morning doesn't make it into this video, we're in the middle of, not in between, 2 heat waves. So I think, I can't remember what day it was now, either Tuesday or Wednesday. We had about 26, almost 27 degrees here, Celsius. And I know a lot of countries that doesn't seem like a lot, but our houses here are made for cold weather, made to keep us warm. So they're double wall thickness, double brick. The walls are double brick thickness, insulated. Attics are insulated. Everything is designed to keep heat in here. We don't have air conditioning because it's not meant to be a hot country, it's meant to be a temperate climate. And we have the humidity, which makes it so much worse. I think it was yesterday, the temperature was about 22 degrees, I think, but the humidity was 55, and it felt uncomfortable enough that I needed to put the fan on. But then the humidity dropped to 41%, and the temperature actually went up to 24, and it felt cooler, so I turned the fan off. And that's because the humidity dropped, and it's just, humidity makes it so much more uncomfortable. If it's a dry heat, it wouldn't be so bad, but it's not. That was the heat wave that we've just had, and we're currently in a bit of a cooler spell. It's still like 22, 23 degrees. Lower humidity, and a bit of a breeze we had yesterday. It's gone now though, but it still feels cooler, a lot cooler. But Sunday, Monday, Tuesday is meant to be even worse heat wise. I think parts of London, it's going from 30 to 37 C. I don't know which it's going to actually end up being. We tend to be a bit cooler here on the southwest coast because we've got the coastal air coming in. Hopefully it won't get that bad here. The worst thing for me is not being able to sleep, not so much because of the heat, because we can open all the windows, leave the door open, get a breeze coming through. I've got a cool blanket, and I can just lay with nothing on if I really need to. But Key likes to sleep in my bedroom, and when it's uncomfortable for him, he pants, and I'm a really light sleeper, so Key pants a lot and it wakes me up, and I haven't had much sleep for the past, I don't know, week, I guess. It's been a bit better the last 2 nights because of the cooler temperature, and I'm trying to just get in as much sleep as I can before it gets worse again. And at the weekend I'm going to put his paddling pool out on the patio slab area so that he's ready just in case it does get hot. And also, every year that I've got his pool out, the next few days has turned really dark and rainy and cold. So I'm hoping I can jinx us all and bring the rain back by getting his pool out. So it's worth a try. I need a light in here. I need something, because when I'm working here and I'm working inside a pot, I can't see what I'm doing. And that light that's up there is, where is it? There? That one and that one. They're not very bright. Not bright at all. So this is what we've got so far. This one is Paige's, my sister's. So then I've got one of these. I put little legs on these ones, I think they're really cute. So these two are exactly the same size. And then this one and this one, they hold the same size round pot. Or I could find a square one, but I wanted a square pot for a round pot. And then this one's slightly bigger. I've got some black clay test tiles so that I can test out more glazes to go on the freezer, because I don't have all of them in black. And it's very hit and miss whether you get a glaze that actually works on this clay, so I really need to test them all out so that I can, so that I know which glaze, so that I know which glazes will actually show up, like that. Aurora green, looks kind of gross, isn't it? And I've got all of these new glazes up here. Blue there, a grey back here, like that. Lilac. I haven't tried this red one yet. These two I had to mix up myself, and I've got two more like that. I can't get you in a good position to actually film me. So the pot I'm going to make today, you stop spinning now? There. Stop, no stop, no. Stop. The pot I'm going to make today is for the new Thai constellation that I got and I'm keeping for myself. So that one needs a pot as well, and that's a completely different measurement to all the other ones. I measured around how I'm doing it because it's really hard to gauge shrinkage, and also with the thickness of the clay you need to account for that. So I measure around the pot and then I'm adding on 5 centimetres, which is about 2 inches, to get enough shrinkage space so that it doesn't end up too small when it's finished. And I haven't tested whether this is okay yet. Basically, the pots I've been making before, the first lot I made were too small. I think the only one that fit was a square one, which is really easy to do. And before I was just kind of guessing and just adding on maybe 2 or 3 centimetres, and the pots were shrinking too much. So I went bigger for the next set, and again, some of them were very snug, and a couple of the inner pot will sit on the rim, won't quite go down inside, which is still too tight. So I've gone bigger still, and I'm going with 5 centimetres. So now I'm actually doing a proper measurement, meaning, oh, it's a lump of clay that's dried out there. I'm using an actual measurement that I can use to work out whether it's working or not. So when it comes out, if they still don't fit, I'll know that I need to go more, I need to go bigger than 5 centimetres added on. Whereas before I was just guessing. I was literally just wrapping it around and then loosening it a bit. So I had no idea how much I was adding. Which is not the way to do it when you want to actually work something out. You're on a whirler, and for some reason it wants to spin. Stop, stop. I don't know what this technique is called, but it is an actual technique. I just need to roll out to 15 by 52. You need to compress the clay so that you basically push all the clay particles in the same direction. This stops the clay from cracking and splitting, which it could do if you didn't compress it. And I just use this stiff plastic kidney. First thing I do is I find the longest point that I can get a straight line out of. And then from there I can mark out 15 centimetres for the width. Although this is technically the height of the pot. piece of paper because I have a right angle somewhere but I don't know where, so I just use a piece of paper, line the edge up with the cut edge that I just made to get this nice right angle. Now I can mark the 52 on this edge that I've just cut. I mixed up a pot of lava flex slip yesterday because I've been making it fresh every time so far, and it's just a pain because it dries out. I've been mixing it up in this and every morning it's dry again, so I've got fresh batch. It's basically just clay sieved so that it's completely smooth and mixed with water. When you're joining clay together you need to use a glue basically, and slip is the glue. So you need to score the sides that are going to be joined together to add bite to the clay, and then you use slip as a glue to join them together. The outside edge down the short sides all the way along the bottom, because that's going to be joined to the base. You can use any tool to do this. I tend to use this. It's like 10 pieces of wire. I used to hate this tool when I first started doing my degree, learning how to do pottery. The amount of times this thing stabbed me in the finger and hurt, I just chucked it to the back of my pottery tool case and just ignored it. I never used it, but now I use it all the time. It hasn't stabbed me since, which is good. So now that I've stopped ignoring it, it's not hurting me. I use this flat paintbrush to apply the slip. So it's just like slop. And then to the edges I've just scored, I apply the slip. This is the tricky part now, because this clay is very soft still. You ideally want to do this with a stiffer clay than this. There we go. Yeah, this is much easier if you've got stiffer clay. Much easier. It's quite handy being in the garage because I've got loads of circular pots that I can use for cutting bases out. That is literally perfect. It's slightly larger, but that's fine. I can work with that. I transfer it now to a wooden bat so that I can easily move the pot around. Sides of the clay will be sitting on a scored edge. So this is what you were sat on, and over there you were sat on a slightly bigger one. I'm using my knuckle like this and just smoothing it around the edge to make sure that it's nice and round on the inside. This is used to basically go along the join on the inside, and then you squish it down to join the sides to the bottom. I'm struggling to focus because of how bright my arm is. So I was trying to show me doing this. There we go. So I'm just basically squishing it into the seam. So that's what that looks like currently. This tool here, basically just a smooth wooden spoon. This is not going to look very neat currently, but down that way and up that way, and then try not to get my hand in there because it's blowing the whole screen out, and then smooth it out that way. And I use my hand on the outside to make sure that I don't push the clay out because I don't want the sides to bulge. You just want to blend the clay in It's very rough at the moment, but that's the basic drawing on the inside. Hand on the inside to press against, and then just smearing the clay. I don't add snakes to the outside because I don't want to change the shape. To do that, I use my stiff rubber kidney and then just pull up, and then that makes the seam go away. So this is what the inside looks like after some rough smoothing with the rubber kidney. And now I'm going to use the same brush that I used for applying the slip. I'm going to put some water on, smooth. Oh, this is going to be tricky. Hello. Just smoothing the outside, just to make it nice and tidy. Sometimes I like a textured pot because you don't have to do much tidying because it can look messy and it'll be fine. But then when I'm going for a smooth pot, I want it to be really smooth. And now I just need to add my stamp, which is this. So it's back to front and it's a JB in the shape of a heart. Let's pick a nice spot. I tend to pick the seam. I can spot the seam. I think it's about here. And I've got my little logo in there. If you follow me on Instagram, then you'll know that I've developed a love of hot tubs. We've had them in the past 2 holidays we've been on. So yeah, I've been craving a hot tub and I wanted one here. When Paige was here last weekend, she suggested out here, which is quite a secluded area. It's not really overlooked by any windows that can see down into it. And I think it's big enough. So this is what I'm looking at. It's a bit overgrown with some weeds. So this is the back of the garage. There's steps going down here to a door that's locked there. But then there's this section around there goes to where I've got the compost bin, which is basically about there where the fence ends, and then there's the grass for the front garden. So there's soil up to there, and then there's a little retaining wall, and then it drops down, and then there's soil about to that level. So that would need to be levelled out. Oh, it would just be so nice to have a hot tub. It doesn't appear to get a huge amount of sun there, but again, you wouldn't want the sun when you're in a hot tub. The times we've used it was in spring and the end of winter, so it was really nice and cold. And then you get in the hot tub and it feels so good. Should I get a hot tub and put one there? Would you do that? I don't know. The neighbour has been out in there so often. They got it this sort of the beginning of the summer, and they've just used it a lot. Like, you can hear it running and you can hear them in there talking. Not too loud, but it just makes me want one even more. And I could see myself being out there, and then I could just sort of block that bit off and he could lay on the concrete beside, because I know he'd like to be out there with me. I could do it. And it doesn't even matter if the summer suddenly ends, because I'd like it more in the winter anyway. Shall I do it? Let me know. Shall I do it? Shall I get a hot tub? I'd probably get a little pergola, pagoda, gazebo, a big umbrella to go over the top, so that we can be out there in the rain, because that would be really nice. Would you like to see my garden? Cucumbers need watering. But I've got lots of vegetables. I haven't really filmed much. I've done like a few update bits, but I haven't actually included it in any YouTube videos. Look at my corn. I know they're really close together, but I don't care. Oh no, that lettuce has gone to seed. But yeah, I've got lots of corn. There should be 3 different varieties in there because I was having a lot of trouble with them. Got some potatoes. I didn't plant these. These are growing from last year that I obviously didn't remove from the soil. There's a nasturtium. There's another one that's getting quite big there. Got some sunflowers that are ending. There's a pumpkin that's starting to turn orange. There's another one, big one. There's some tomatoes down there. A little pansy I grew from seeds, and some cosmos. They're so pretty. I didn't realise that they became so bushy. These are the tiny alpine strawberries. They're minuscule. And then my blueberry bush. I have to fight the blackbirds for them. They come down and steal them. The cherry tree has produced quite a lot of cherries, but they're all gone now because I've eaten them. And in here, oh, hot in here. Got the window open a crack. I've got lots of tomatoes. I love this truss. Look at this. Look how perfect that is. They're so tight together. I don't know what varieties there are. I think there's 3 different varieties of strawberry. Of tomato. I think there's 3 different varieties of tomato in here. And then I have 4 melon plants. This is the biggest one. They each have 1 melon. And then there's this, oh, that's a leaf. There's this one. And then there's this one. And then this is the newest one. And then look at these trusses. None of them, I've had 2 tomatoes ripen and they were both ones with bottom end rot. So this, they end up with this on the bottom, and I think it's down to insufficient watering, so they've dried out too much. But they're the only 2 that have ripened, so I just pulled them off. And then over here we've got tomatoes, potatoes that I did plant that they've not grown very tall at all. Sunflower, that one's not ready yet, it's massive. They're called Titan, these sunflowers. All the sweet peas, some of them are annuals that we planted, and some are from a perennial sweet pea that grows every year. The cucumbers, they definitely need watering, they're so thirsty. I've got lots of cucumbers growing. I don't know how you're seeing this, I can't see the screen. But there's loads of them. Some red onions, some beetroot. Some of these get really big beetroot. Look at that one. That was a broccoli. There's a random tomato plant there. And then there's the other sunflower. Look at the size of it. It's huge. I can't see the screen at all, but that's my aunt. He didn't open his petals very well, but it's massive. Can you see? I don't know what this looks like. Can't see the screen, but that's where that is. Broad beans. Threw them for the first time. They weren't all that. There wasn't a lot of flavour, but we had some with roast pork. I've got a chive plant here, which produces these pretty pom-poms. I've got 2 courgette plants. I've already had 2 courgettes off. They're not doing too well this year though. Neither of them. They're not producing many flowers, and I think the temperature is too hot for them. Because last year we had loads and loads of them. That's the spider. This is chocolate mint. It was I had a tiny little chocolate mint plant that I planted there last year, and this was covered. It had completely overgrown, and it's really tall as well up to the fence. More onions down here. And then this is my goji berry that I grew last year. Had to spend an entire year in the house. Stuck it outside as a stick, basically looking like this. Thought it was dead. But now look at it. It's doing really well. I'll have to dig it out when I leave because I'm taking it with me if I manage to finally find a house to buy. But look at it. Cool. This is an olive. I don't think it receives enough sunlight. It never produces olives, so I did 1 year, I think. But it doesn't anymore. It's really tall. We won't be able to take that with us. It would be nice to have an olive tree that actually produced olives, even though I won't eat them. Because they're gross, they taste like feet. But I just like growing things like the courgettes. I'll only eat them in a chili. Cucumbers I won't eat at all. Maybe in a stir fry. Bug on me. Won't get off. Oh, okay. So yeah, I grow things that I don't eat just because I enjoy growing them. I find a use for them. Give them away to people. So this is the spot. We got a new hose. What about? This is the spot that I'm thinking we'd have a hot tub. It's definitely big enough. It's just this lip here, all of this would need to be levelled, either that wall taken away and then the soil brought down level, and then hot tub on top. But then I'm also looking for a house, so is it worth putting that much work in? But then this is just a mess. If we tidied it up, it would look better for selling this house. See, there's my window into the workshop. That's my pots. There's the compost bin. So yeah, that would be cool to have a hot tub in there. Hello. Did you miss me? I was gone for an hour and a half. Hello. I missed you too. Oh, you're so cute. I'm sorry I didn't stop. Oh, you're so cute. Oh, you're so cute. Oh, nice. My arm is all snotty now. Okay, fluff in my eye. Oh no, I got your nose in my mouth. Is there fluff on my face? Can you see it? I think there's some over my eye. The amount of fluff that I've had to take out of my eyeballs. He loves laying out here. It's the coldest room in the house. Yeah, comfy. You love your personal fan, don't you?